I would like to say that I think it's a good thing that more and more black females are becoming celibate, because by doing so, you have time to work on yourself instead of being in a relationship, because you're not going to have much time to do the things that you need to do for yourself, because now you got to be catering to your man or your partner. By you being celibate, you could work on making money, getting your life together, education, and things like that. So those are some of the good things that comes with you being celibate. You have time to work on yourself and heal from past relationships.
So maybe I'm the only one that feel like this. I don't know. Comment below and let me know. While I'm abstaining from physical interactions with the male species, and before I say what I'm going to say, y'all do understand that it is a difference between celibacy and abstinence. I am abstaining. That means I plan on getting in the saddle still, just not right now, only when the time is right. But while I'm abstaining from physical interaction, it's like the longer I go without it, the more I just don't want to do it. And it's just the thought of it. Just the thought of it. I feel like the longer you wait, at least for me, I don't know about you loose goosies, but for me, I feel like the longer you wait, I feel like the more uncomfortable it's gonna be. The last time I've had interaction was about September, October, somewhere in there. And I just feel like the longer you go without it, the more uncomfortable it's gonna be. I don't know. And honestly, that's really what keeps me just from not wanting to bother with it. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I don't know. Do y'all be thinking like that? I don't know. Let me know.
4 things that abstinence has taught me. It's been 3.5 years, and I've said this before in one of my videos. It's still one of the best gifts that I've given myself, and I will never not say that. Self-control. As we all know, self-control is a fruit of the spirit. When I was engaging in sex outside of marriage, I ain't have no self-control. None. I knew that if I wanted to have sex, I could have it. I was so focused on what I wanted, I never was focused on what God wanted for me. Over the years, God has taught me that self-control is a true form of protection. It allows me to protect myself from getting myself in situations that can cause spiritual death. Secondly, emotional regulation. As women, I feel like in general, we can struggle deeply with emotional regulation. And if you don't know how to regulate your emotions and you add sex outside of marriage on top of that, recipe for disaster. Sex outside of marriage not only clouds your emotions, it also heightens them. And when you're at that point, the red flags start turning pink. Also, because you're engaging in sex, which is heightening your emotions and clouding them, your discernment is also very low or sometimes non-existent, because you are so full of the emotions that you're feeling while engaging in this act that's actively separating you from God. You don't know, or you can't hear or be sensitive to the Holy Spirit. The enemy loves when you're emotionally dysregulated because his work is easier to do when you are. Third thing, patience. Obviously, patience is another fruit of the spirit. When I was engaging in sex outside of marriage, I did it because I refused to be patient. I refused to learn how to wait on the good things that God has set out for me. I wanted to experience them on my time. I have learned that good things truly do come to those who wait on the Lord. It's not just a cute saying, it's a real thing. Waiting on the goodness of God will never fail you. Lastly, self-worth. Engaging in sex outside of marriage actually heavily decreased my sense of self-worth. I thought it was a cue for how valuable I was to a partner. I thought that my body was directly tied to my sense of self-worth. And it really just put me in a place of being vulnerable and continuously being used for my body by people I was never supposed to even entertain. Something that God has really been ingraining in my brain throughout this whole process is that my self-worth comes from God. It doesn't come from who I'm dating, my job, how much money I make, the hair I wear, the makeup I have on. None of that is directly tied to my self-worth. My self-worth is directly tied to God and God only. I am made in God's image, and that's all I have to worry about.
I used to choose what I wanted to wear based off of the male gaze or averting it. And it's not until now that I'm getting more comfortable in my body and going to therapy and healing a lot of the sexual trauma and experiences I had. Men don't understand their predatory behavior affects women, or they do and they just don't care. I literally did not feel safe occupying my own body and recognizing it's mine, and other people can't and will not be able to make decisions for my body. simply because I was constantly in a relationship with a fucking man, or boy rather, because I think this is more of like boys' issues. Like whenever I was in a relationship, they would think they owned me, owned my body, got to tell me what to do with it, and like told me when I was in the mood, tell me when I was not allowed to be in the mood. It was just like, and also this thing too is that this may be a part of like pretty privilege or whatever, but being in consistent relationships back to back to back, I never got a time period in my life until now to figure out what I like to do. And then secondly, I was always swarmed by men, swarmed by them to the point where like I never had the chance to sit back and be like, I want to pick the guy from my imagination, like what I envisioned for my life. I was just overloaded with men who just like weaseled their way into my life or applied so much pressure that I was just like, all right, fine, I'll give you a chance. And it's just like, it got to the point where I'm just like, I don't want you. I never even liked you. Why are you here? And now that I'm like confident and okay being on my own and not have to deal with them, I'm just like, I want to get to the point that I want a man back in my life, like whole man. I don't want to be with people who violate my trust, who lie and are manipulative, and I have to do all this mental work to be around them. And it wasn't until I started focusing on women only and building relationships with women only that I felt safe and rooted enough to be like, okay, I can be myself and I don't have to do all of this. So just like, is there a world without them? Or like, can we just like, I just want to take like a woman's brain and like borrow Frankenstein them up. It's just like, I hope I get past this point and I find a man that meets all the qualities that I have in my head, because I honestly am concerned he doesn't exist.
Black females, they're tired of getting their hearts broken. They're tired of dealing with men that they don't believe is right for them. So that's why a lot of them are choosing celibacy over relationships. Because obviously the relationship is not working. And that could be a good thing, because that means that the type of guys you was dating, they're not the ones for you. So while you're going through your celibacy, fix your life up, make some money, do what you gotta do, and then later, after a couple years or a few years, however long you want to be celibate, then you could look for a partner.
Do you know the difference between when you're craving intimacy versus your hormones are raging? Learning about my cycle, the follicular, luteal, menstrual, and ovulation phase, it helps me to like detach from my emotions and my hormones to see what is causing these feelings. So like last night, that man, right, I did not go see him because I was like, I'm in a very vulnerable state and I know I need comfort and intimacy. I wanted to snuggle. That was not his motivation at all. And I was like, old me would have been like, let me go see him anyway so that I get this comfort, and then put myself in a position to then later, it would be a position where I'm like, I don't want to do this. So acknowledging that and being like, I don't want to add this extra pressure, knowing that I'm emotional for like these different reasons, like grieving my sister's death, missing my daughter, missing my dog, missing like pieces of my previous life. I'm just like, as I sit here, I'm like, damn, this therapy really be hitting, because before therapy, I wouldn't be able to identify like my feelings. Right? Have you had this experience where I would just be feeling things and not knowing like, okay, this is anxiety. This is my ovulation phase. This is just me being sad and not knowing how to comfort myself. So I'm seeking comfort in somebody else. Like, damn, my therapist is doing a damn good job. But how do you, like, what are some healthy ways to cope with wanting intimacy but not having access to human contact that you want? Because I know who I want that human contact with, and I know how I want to feel, but I know that that's not all I'm going to get, so I can't do it. So I'm staying away from that man. What else? Because painting is not doing it right now. Meditation and laying on my bed has helping. I've just been napping it away, to be honest with you, but that can lead to depression. So like, what do you do?
You need to go through a period of celibacy. If you have never taken a break since you started, you need to take a break. If you have never gone more than 6 months, you need to take a break. Stop mixing your energy with somebody else's, because their shit is getting all up in yours and it's throwing you off. You are thrown off right now. But that person, I can guarantee you, is not thrown off. They are living. They are waking up early. They are eating nutrient-dense meals. They are going for that run. Meanwhile, you're waking up, you're like, why the fuck do I feel like shit? It's because they are living off of your energy. And by they, this can be multiple people. This can be multiple fucking people. You know, they are becoming successful off of your flow. They don't even know that they are living off your shit. You need to yoni steam, you need to meditate, and you need to pray. This is how it's going to work. And by praying, you can pray to God, you can pray to the saints, but you can also pray to yourself. You can pray to that. Yes, you can pray to your womb. You can ask yourself for the healing, yourself for the guidance. And baby, it gonna come through. You're gonna find a book, you're gonna hear somebody, you're gonna watch something on TV that gives you the exact message that you need. The message could be in this fucking video, which is stop having so much sex. Like, stop.
I have not been touched since July 28th. So y'all's best bet is to stay the hell out of my way on the roads, because I've been going at least 20 over the speed limit here recently. Do not get on my bad side, because the possibility of me picking your house up out of the ground and flinging it straight into the sun, very high. You know what I mean? Just don't get on my nerves. Stay on my good side.